not have to do that problem. The rest of them we're going to be doing. We're going to do 3 together to get you going. And I picked hard ones. So that way, whenever you get to the hard ones, it's not like you're just by yourself. Okay. So let's jump to number 9. We're going to do number 9. Number 9 is one that's completely in words. And I know you guys hate those ones. So for number 9, it says if the measure of angle P is 3 less than twice the measure of angle Q. It also says P and Q are supplementary. Find each angle measure. So when in doubt, we're going to draw it out. So what does supplementary mean? 180. Take out your headphone. Put them, like, take it out. Put it away. Okay. So we're going to add to make a straight line. So we got a little straight line. Boop, boop. Okay. There's 2 angles in this. So I'm going to just kind of like add a little thing. Boop, boop. When you have a word problem like this, which is on your test, you have one like this, you need to call the first angle. And it doesn't even matter which one's the first one. One of them is always just going to be X. So I'm going to put a little X right here. Now, if I was going to write 3 less than twice the measure, what does 3 less mean? Subtract 3, okay. What does twice mean? Multiply. So what would be maybe my equation? Tell me. 2x minus 3. Twice means I'm doubling whatever I'm talking about, which in this case is x. 3 less than that is minus 3. So my little saying is 2x minus 3. So now we said it's supplementary. So how much should this add to make in total? Equals 180. So I'm going to write my little equation off to the side. I'm going to do 2x minus 3 plus another x. And this is where most people get confused because they forget to add the original x. You have to add in that original angle. And then equals 180. So if I combine my x's, 2x and 1x make 3x. And now it's a 2-step equation. So I'm going to add 3 and then I'm going to divide. So somebody with a calculator. So we get 61. So x equals 61. And this is what I mean by you got to plug it back in because it wants to know the measure of each angle. It says find the measure of each angle. So one of the angles is automatically just 61 degrees because it's just x. And now you can do one of 2 things. You could either plug x in here and do 2 times 61 minus 3 and find it out. Or if the whole line's 180, and I know this is 61, what's this have to be? 119. So I just need to figure out which one is P and which one is Q. So I need P and the measure of Q. So one of the answers is 61. One of them is 119. Which one is 119? P, because it says the measure of P is 3 less than twice Q. So this is P, this is Q. So P is 119, Q is 61. So if it wants you to plug it back in, you got to plug it back in. Right. So the word ones, I would suggest drawing out a little picture, even if it's not to scale. I don't care which one's bigger, which one's smaller. It just so happens that this one was 61, which is the smaller one. Just put X somewhere and then try to write the equation for the other one. Okay. Let's go to the back. We're going to number 14. 14's not hard, but I think it would confuse most of you. So that's why I want to do 14. So 14 says, find the measure of X. So the value of X, so I don't have to plug it back in. QS bisects PQR. And the measure of PQR is 82. So I'm going to put 82 in my picture. PQR. So this is 82 because it's the whole thing. What does it mean to bisect something? Split in 2. So what could I do? Divide what by 2? 82. So if I split 82 in half, what do I get? So this is 41 and this is 41. So how could I solve for X? Perfect. Not 82, actually. Not perfect. 41. Because this is only in half of the picture, It's actually equal to 41, not 82. So I do have to, somebody earlier was like, we have to use the 82 because it was in the problem. We took 82, we split it in half. So we're using 41 because it represents half of the angle. So take a second. We're going to solve this. This is going to be super easy. We don't even need to plug it back in. So you should just get your answer and be done. And then we'll do one more together. And then that way you have examples to go off for today. So what's X? 4. Okay, moving on. So if it says find X, once you find X, you're done. Let's do one of the X, Y problems. And then you can work on these. So let's jump down to 16. Remember, you do not have to do 17. So scribble out 17. You don't have to do that one if you haven't already done so. Boop, boop, boop. 16 says find the value of X and Y. So when you have multiple variables, you cannot make an equation with X's and Y's all together. Disregard Y because Y comes second in the alphabet. So pretend like it doesn't exist. Looking at the X's, what could I do with these two things? Okay, if they were equal, they would both be obtuse or both be acute. They are not both acute. They are not both obtuse. Yes. So they are supplementary. They're a linear pair. So I'm going to add them to make 180. So kind of pretend like Y is not even there. Do your math problem. Yeah. You're not, actually. So I have negative 17, negative 11. What is that going to come together to make? Negative 28. So it should always be a two-step equation, which is nice. Yes. Yes, bring me your phone. You. So when you divide, what do you get? 26. Okay. So what I mean by like let X help you find Y is I'm going to literally take X and I'm going to plug it back in. So if I know that this angle is 3X minus 11, you don't even need to write it out. Put it in a calculator. What is 3 multiplied by 26 minus 11 going to give me? So if this is 67 degrees, let me also plug it in over here. If the whole thing's 180, this is 67. If I plug in X, 5 times 26 minus 17, what do I get? What is it? Is it 113? Okay, so 113. Okay, so now we have to use our brains. I know this angle is 67. I know this is 113. Now I have to, They had to make 180. I have to find Y though. Okay, so I know this is 90. This is 90, yeah. The other side, okay, so the other side's 90. So this side's also 90. So let me do this in blue. So this side's also 90. I don't know it's an angle bisector, and it also doesn't look like an angle bisector. This one is smaller than this one. But what angle actually is here based on vertical angles? 67. So since 67 is here, 67 is here. So sure. So if I know the whole thing is 90 and I know this piece is 67, what is this little piece of pie going to be? What is it? 23. So now what could I do to solve for Y if I know that's 23? No. Yes. So I'm taking these and I'm equaling them to each other. So I could do 2Y plus 5 equals 23 to solve for Y. So all I have to do is minus 5 and then divide by 2. So what do you get for Y? Y equals 9. So there is a bunch of different ways. First, second, and fifth, I think, figured out different ways to do this, but you get the same answer. So geometry is like interesting because it's not a wrong way. You just have to make sure it makes sense to whatever you're doing. So you can plug in your numbers. This is vertical. This goes here. You're adding to make 90 because this side's 90. So the other side is 90. Okay. So you're going to start with number 1, start in the beginning, and then work your way up to the harder problems. Let me know if you get stuck. It's classwork. So that way you don't have to take it home. Okay. So start working on it. The front ones, you don't really need to show work for. You could just like kind of add, subtract in your calculator. Let me know if you get stuck. Let me know if you need help. I'm going to take attendance really fast and then I'll be walking around.